Welcome to Today I Will Take You on a Journey into My Own World. Timeless Dreams. The infinite library of eternal peace and timeless dreams. As you close your eyes and begin to drift away from the waking world, imagine yourself standing at the grand entrance of an ancient library, unlike any that exists in the physical world. This library is not bound by the laws of nature or the limitations of space. It exists in the realm between sleep and waking, accessible only to those who seek sanctuary in the world of dreams and rest. The entrance is framed by towering columns of pale marble that seems to emit a gentle, ethereal glow from within. The marble is cool to the touch when you place your hand against it, and you can feel the energy within the stone. Ancient wisdom carved into every crystalline structure. The columns are adorned with intricate carvings depicting scenes of peaceful sleep, of dreams taking flight, of souls finding rest and restoration in the embrace of slumber. Above the entrance, an elaborate archway frames the massive wooden doors. Arch is decorated with symbols and sigils that speak of knowledge, peace, and the sacred nature of rest. The doors themselves are made of dark, aged wood that has been polished to a perfect sheen by countless hands throughout the ages. The wood is warm to the touch, inviting, promising sanctuary and peace to all who enter. Bronze handles shaped like sleeping angels are positioned at the perfect height for you to grasp them. As you reach out and push against the doors, they open silently, smoothly, without any resistance or sound, as if they have been waiting for you specifically, anticipating your arrival. Stepping across the threshold, you feel a dramatic shift in the atmosphere around you. The air becomes cooler, fresher, filled with the scent of aged paper, leather bindings, and something indefinably comforting that reminds you of childhood safety, of being held by someone who loves you unconditionally. The air itself seems to caress your skin gently, welcoming you, embracing you, inviting you to sink deeper into this sanctuary of peace and rest. You take a deep breath, and with each inhalation, you feel yourself becoming more relaxed, more peaceful, more deeply settled into the realm of dreams. The interior of the library is vast beyond measure. Your eyes cannot perceive the full extent of the space. It seems to extend endlessly in every direction, both horizontally and vertically. Bookshelves of dark wood stretch upward, some reaching toward a ceiling that is so high it disappears into soft shadows that are comforting rather than frightening. The ceiling itself appears to be mapped with constellations, ancient stars that glow with a soft, steady light. Each shelf is meticulously organized, with books of every conceivable size, color, and texture. Some books are bound in soft leather the color of deep crimson, others in rich blue or emerald green. Still others are bound in materials that seem to shift colors as you gaze upon them, now silver, now gold, now shimmering violet. The light in this library is unlike any light you have experienced in the waking world. It comes from everywhere and nowhere simultaneously. The walls themselves seem to emanate a warm amber glow that bathes everything in soft golden tones that are deeply soothing to the eye and the soul. Floating throughout the space are candles, suspended by invisible forces, their flames dancing slowly and peacefully in a rhythm that matches your breathing. The candlelight creates dancing shadows on the walls and shelves, shadows that move with grace and beauty, never harsh or threatening, always soft and inviting. As you walk deeper into the library, your footsteps make no sound on the plush carpet beneath your feet. The carpet is luxuriously thick, made from wool of the finest quality, and feels like walking on clouds or on soft moss in an enchanted forest. The color is a deep burgundy with intricate patterns woven throughout, patterns that seem to tell stories to those patient enough to observe them. As you gaze upon the patterns, they seem to shift and change, revealing different narratives, different meanings, speaking to you on a level that transcends conscious thought. You begin to notice comfortable reading nooks scattered throughout the library. Each nook contains deep, oversized armchairs upholstered in the softest materials imaginable. Velvet, suede, materials that you cannot identify, but that feel like they were created specifically for ultimate comfort. Beside each chair sits a small table of dark wood, upon which rest glasses of cool water, steaming cups of herbal tea, or small bowls of warm milk. Soft blankets in earth tones are draped over the back of each chair, woven from the finest wool and decorated with tassels and intricate embroidery. As you walk deeper into the library, you become aware of other visitors. These are gentle souls who have come seeking the same thing you seek: refuge, peace, the freedom to explore the landscapes of imagination, and the restorative power of rest. They move quietly through the aisles, their fingers trailing lightly over the spines of books, as if in a form of meditation. Some sit in the comfortable chairs, lost in the worlds contained within the pages they are reading. Others stand before the shelves, gazing thoughtfully at the books, as if communicating with them, asking them to reveal their secrets. All of the other visitors acknowledge you with soft smiles and knowing nods. There is no need for words in this place. There is a deep, fundamental understanding among all of you. You are all here for the same purpose. You all belong in this sanctuary, and your presence is welcomed and honored. Some visitors move with the grace of those who have been coming to this library for ages, while others are newcomers like yourself. But regardless of how long they have been coming, all share the same peaceful demeanor, the same quality of deep rest and contentment. You find yourself drawn to a particular section of the library, one that seems to glow more brightly than the others. As you approach, you realize that this section contains the most profound stories, tales of journeys and transformations, stories of love and connection, narratives that speak to the deepest parts of the human soul. The books in this section seem to be calling to you, as if they recognize something in you, as if they have been waiting for you to come. You select a book at random from the shelf, and as your fingers touch its spine, you feel a warmth emanating from it. The book is bound in leather the color of twilight, and its cover is adorned with symbols and designs that seem to glow with their own internal light. As you hold the book in your hands, you understand with absolute certainty that this book has been waiting for you, prepared for this exact moment, containing exactly the story your soul needs to hear in order to find the deepest, most restorative sleep. You make your way to one of the comfortable reading nooks, one that feels particularly welcoming and inviting. You settle yourself into the enormous armchair, and as you sink into it, you feel as though the chair is embracing you, cradling you in its cushioned arms, supporting you completely. You pull the soft blanket over your legs, adjusting yourself until you find the perfect position of maximum comfort and ease. You reach over and take a sip of the warm beverage. It tastes of honey and herbs and warmth. And with each sip, you feel yourself becoming more relaxed, more at peace, more deeply settled into this sanctuary of rest. Opening the book, you find yourself immediately transported into the world contained within its pages. The story unfolds before you not merely as words on a page, but as vivid images, as sensations, as feelings that seem to penetrate to the very core of your being. With each word you read, each sentence you process, you feel yourself sinking deeper and deeper into a state of profound relaxation and comfort. Your body becoming heavier, your breathing becoming slower and deeper, your consciousness drifting further from the waking world. The story takes you on a journey through enchanted forests where ancient trees reach toward skies of impossible colors. The trees are so massive and ancient that their trunks would take 100 people holding hands to encircle them. Their branches form a canopy so dense that the light filters through in shafts of emerald and gold, creating patterns of extraordinary beauty. You walk along paths covered in moss so soft and luxurious that each step feels like walking on the finest carpet ever woven. The air is filled with the gentle sounds of nature, birds singing in voices that sound almost like music, leaves rustling with a rhythm that matches your heartbeat, the distant sound of water flowing over smooth stones. With each step you take within the world of the story, you feel your body becoming heavier, more grounded, more peaceful. The weight is not burdensome, but comforting, as if the earth itself is claiming you, welcoming you, drawing you down into its embrace. Your breathing synchronizes with the rhythm of the forest, the rustling leaves, the flowing water, the songs of birds, all blend into a melody that soothes your nervous system and guides you deeper into rest. The narrative guides you to a clearing in the forest where you discover a structure of extraordinary beauty. It is not quite a house and not quite a temple, but something that combines the comfort of home with the sacred feeling of a holy place. The structure seems to be made of natural materials, wood that has been shaped and polished, stone that glows with internal light, materials that have been harvested from the forest itself and transformed into something of great beauty and power. You approach this structure and find that the entrance is open, inviting you to step inside. As you cross the threshold, you feel the temperature change. It becomes warmer, more comfortable, perfectly calibrated to bring maximum comfort to your body. Inside, everything is arranged with the intention of creating the ultimate sanctuary for rest. There is a fire crackling softly in a fireplace, casting dancing shadows on the walls. There is a table set with warm food and drink. There is a bed with the most luxurious pillows and blankets you can imagine, made from materials so soft they seem like they might dissolve at your touch. You move toward the bed as if drawn by invisible forces. As you approach, the bed seems to open itself to you, the covers drawing back to welcome you into their embrace. You lie down, and immediately you feel as though the bed is holding you, supporting you, cradling you with a tenderness that speaks of deep love and care. The pillows adjust themselves to the perfect height for your neck and head. The blankets conform themselves to the shape of your body, providing warmth without being too heavy, comfort without restriction. As you lie in this bed, surrounded by comfort and safety and peace, your awareness of the physical world begins to fade. Your body feels impossibly heavy, as if you have been pulled down by a gentle force, rooted to this place of ultimate rest. Your breathing becomes slow and deep, so slow that you barely notice that you are breathing at all. It feels more like the gentle tide of the ocean, the breathing of the earth itself, the rhythm of the universe manifesting through your body. Time loses all meaning in this place. You have no awareness of how long you have been reading, lying in this bed, experiencing this journey through the story. There is only this moment, this place, this profound sense of peace and safety and well-being that envelops you completely. The words of the story continue to flow through your mind, each one a gentle suggestion, each phrase a whisper that guides you deeper and deeper into the world of dreams. And as your consciousness begins to drift, as your awareness of the story begins to fade, you realize that you no longer need to actively engage with the narrative. The story continues within your mind, unfolding organically, taking you on a journey that is uniquely yours. Your imagination takes over, filling in details and textures and colors that speak directly to the deepest parts of your consciousness, the parts that know instinctively what you need in order to achieve the deepest, most restorative, most healing sleep. You are safe here. You are welcome here. You are loved here. In this ancient library of dreams, in this sanctuary of rest, there is nothing to fear, nothing to worry about, nothing to do except surrender completely to the peace that surrounds you. And so you rest, carried gently by the words of the story, held safely by the comfortable bed, warmed by the soft blankets, nourished by the peace that surrounds you in every direction. And as you rest, as you sleep the deepest sleep, as you journey through the infinite landscapes of dreams, you know with absolute certainty that you are cared for, protected, and deeply loved by the universe itself. Story 2. The Eternal Ocean of Luminous Waves and Infinite Peace. The Eternal Ocean of Luminous Waves and Infinite Peace. Picture yourself finding yourself on a beach of impossible beauty, a place that exists only in the realm of dreams and imagination. This is not an ordinary beach, but a sacred space where the boundary between the waking world and the realm of dreams becomes transparent and permeable. The beach stretches endlessly in both directions, and you cannot perceive the far edges. But instead of feeling diminished by the vastness, you feel embraced by it, held by it, cradled by it. The sand beneath your feet is not ordinary sand, but something far more precious and magical. Each grain seems to contain light within it, and as you walk, your footprints glow gently, creating a path of luminescence behind you. The sand is perfectly warm, the ideal temperature for comfort, and feels like the finest powder against your skin. With each step, you feel tension leaving your body, stress dissolving from your muscles, worry evaporating from your mind like mist in the morning sun. The ocean before you is the most beautiful sight your eyes have ever witnessed. The water is not the typical blue of ordinary oceans, but rather a crystalline, clear liquid that contains within it every color of the spectrum. The water seems to contain its own light, and as waves form and crest, they glow with colors of extraordinary beauty. Soft purples, luminous greens, gentle blues, soft golds. The water appears almost alive, almost sentient, as if it is conscious and aware and waiting specifically for you. The sound of the ocean is like the most beautiful music ever composed. The waves do not crash violently, but rather flow gently toward the shore with a rhythm that is mesmerizing and deeply soothing. The sound of the water mingling with the sand is like a gentle melody played on ancient instruments, a song of peace and rest that has been sung since the beginning of time. As you listen to this music, you feel your heartbeat beginning to synchronize with the rhythm of the waves, your breathing beginning to match the rhythm of the ocean's breath. You begin to walk toward the water, and as you do, the sand beneath your feet becomes even softer, even warmer, even more comfortable. With each step closer to the ocean, you feel yourself becoming more relaxed, more peaceful, more deeply settled into a state of profound rest. The air around you becomes increasingly filled with the scent of the ocean, a salty, fresh, invigorating scent that cleanses your mind and your soul. As you reach the edge of the water, you find that it invites you to step into it. You remove your shoes, though you realize that the concept of shoes no longer makes sense in this place. You wade into the water, and immediately you discover that it is perfectly warm, neither hot nor cold, but precisely the temperature that brings maximum comfort to every cell of your body. The water is not threatening or dangerous, but instead feels like a gentle embrace, like the arms of someone who loves you deeply and wants nothing more than your comfort and well-being. As you wade deeper, the water rises to your ankles, then your calves, then your waist. But there is no fear, no sense of danger. Instead, you feel increasingly supported, increasingly held, increasingly safe. The water seems to understand your body perfectly, supporting you with an intelligence that transcends ordinary physics. You could, if you wished, simply allow yourself to float, and the water would support you completely, asking nothing of you except that you surrender to its embrace. You decide to float, and as you do, you feel the water gently accepting your body, cradling you, holding you as if you were the most precious thing in the universe. Your body becomes weightless, or perhaps it is accurate to say that it becomes perfectly balanced, perfectly supported. You float on your back, gazing up at the sky above you. The sky above the ocean is like nothing you have ever seen. It is not the typical blue of a daytime sky, but rather a canvas of the most beautiful colors, soft purples bleeding into dusty blues, with touches of pink and gold that seem to emit their own gentle light. The stars are visible, but they are not the distant stars of the waking world. These stars are closer, more intimate, more alive. They pulse gently with light, as if they are alive and aware and watching over you with benevolence and love. As you float in the water, you become increasingly aware of a gentle movement beneath you. There are creatures in the ocean, but they are not frightening or dangerous. Instead, they are gentle beings, dolphins and whales, and creatures that seem to exist only in the realm of dreams and imagination. They move gracefully through the water, some passing close to you, acknowledging you with what feels like recognition and welcome. You understand, without words being spoken, that you are safe here, that these creatures recognize you as a being of peace, and that they are honored by your presence. The dolphins seem to invite you to journey with them. You understand that if you wish, you can follow them deeper into the ocean, exploring the underwater realm that exists beneath the surface. As you move with the dolphins, you find that you can breathe underwater as easily as you breathe air. The water seems to provide oxygen directly to your lungs, nourishing you, sustaining you. As you descend deeper into the ocean, you discover an underwater realm of extraordinary beauty. The water becomes increasingly luminous as you go deeper, and you realize that the luminescence is coming from coral and shells and rocks that glow with their own internal light. The colors are even more vivid underwater than they were on the surface. Brilliant blues and greens and purples and golds. You discover an underwater sanctuary, a place where the seafloor has been shaped and arranged into a comfortable resting place. There are pillows of soft seaweed, blankets of the finest silk woven from the water itself, surfaces that are perfectly designed for rest and comfort. The dolphins guide you to this place, as if presenting you with a gift, as if they have prepared this sanctuary specifically for you. As you settle into this underwater sanctuary, you feel as though you are being embraced by the entire ocean. The water surrounds you completely, holds you completely, supports you completely. Your breathing becomes even slower and deeper than before. Your heartbeat slows to match the rhythm of the waves far above you. Your consciousness begins to expand, becoming less focused on your individual body and more encompassing of the vast ocean around you. You realize that the boundary between yourself and the ocean is becoming increasingly permeable. You are no longer certain whether you are floating in the water or whether you have become one with the water itself. This dissolution of the boundary between self and environment brings a profound sense of peace and unity and belonging. You understand, in a way that transcends ordinary understanding, that you are part of something vast and beautiful and eternal, and that this connection brings with it safety and protection and deep, unconditional love. Time loses all meaning. You have no awareness of whether you have been floating in this underwater sanctuary for minutes or hours or days or years. There is only this moment, this place, this profound sense of peace and beauty and unity that surrounds you and permeates you and sustains you. Your consciousness continues to expand, encompassing the entire ocean, encompassing the creatures within it, encompassing the sky above it, encompassing everything. And as you drift deeper and deeper into this state of profound peace and unity, as you continue to float in the warm water, as the dolphins swim gracefully around you, as the glow of the underwater sanctuary bathes you in colors of extraordinary beauty, you feel yourself slipping deeper and deeper into the realm of sleep. Your body feels impossibly heavy and perfectly supported at the same time. Your breathing has become so slow and so deep that it seems almost like meditation. Your consciousness drifts further and further from the waking world, moving deeper and deeper into the healing realm of dreams. In this place of oceanic beauty, surrounded by luminous water, cradled by intelligent creatures, held safe by forces that transcend ordinary understanding, you finally surrender completely to sleep. You know with absolute certainty that you are safe, protected, and deeply loved. The ocean itself seems to watch over you, its gentle rhythm ensuring your peace and protection as you journey deep into the realm of dreams and healing rest. Story 3: The Mountains of Crystal Light and Infinite Stillness. The Mountains of Crystal Light and Infinite Stillness. Imagine yourself standing at the base of a mountain range of impossible beauty, a range that exists only in the realm of dreams and imagination. These mountains are not made of ordinary rock and stone, but rather of crystalline material that contains light within it. Each mountain glows with a soft luminescence, and the light that emanates from them is of colors you have never seen in the waking world. The largest mountain before you rises impossibly high, its peak seeming to touch the clouds themselves. The mountain appears to be made entirely of crystal, and as you gaze upon it, you see that the crystal is layered in patterns of extraordinary complexity and beauty. The layers of crystal contain light of different colors. Some areas glow soft blue, other areas glow purple or green or gold. The light within the crystal seems to move and flow, creating patterns that are hypnotic and deeply soothing. You begin to climb the mountain, and you discover that the crystal surface beneath your feet is not slippery or dangerous, but rather provides perfect traction and support. Each step you take is effortless, natural, comfortable. With each step upward, you feel your body becoming lighter, your mind becoming clearer, your consciousness becoming increasingly peaceful and serene. As you climb higher, the air around you becomes increasingly clean and pure. The atmosphere itself seems to be made of peace and tranquility. As you breathe in this air, you feel it filling your lungs with peace, your bloodstream with calm, every cell of your body with a sense of deep well-being and rest. Around you, as you climb, you notice that the other mountains in the range are also visible, each one glowing with its own particular colors. Some mountains glow predominantly blue, others predominantly purple, still others green or gold or silver. Together, the mountains create a symphony of light and color that is utterly peaceful, utterly beautiful, utterly conducive to the deepest rest. You also notice that there are other climbers on the mountain, other peaceful souls who are making the same journey. They move silently, peacefully, each focused on their own path upward. Occasionally, you encounter one of these other climbers, and you exchange knowing nods and smiles. There is no need for words. You all understand that you are on the same journey, seeking the same destination, hoping to achieve the same profound peace and rest. As you continue climbing, you discover that the mountain path is not a single route, but rather multiple paths that wind around the mountain in spirals, each spiral taking you higher and higher. The paths are wide and comfortable, lined with crystal formations that glow gently, illuminating your way. The paths seem to encourage rest. There are places where the crystal has been shaped into benches or resting places, perfect pausing and catching your breath. You come upon one such resting place and decide to pause. You sit on the bench of crystal, and you discover that it is perfectly comfortable, perfectly shaped to support your body. You gaze out from this vantage point at the landscape below. The view is breathtaking. Valleys of soft moss and flowers, streams that glow with gentle light, forests of trees that seem to contain light within their trunks and branches. As you sit and gaze at this landscape, you feel your breathing becoming slower and deeper. Your heartbeat slows. Your mind becomes increasingly quiet. Thoughts that previously occupied your consciousness seem to dissolve, becoming less important, less urgent, less significant. In their place, a profound sense of peace and stillness begins to grow. You notice that there are other valleys visible from this vantage point, valleys that you will presumably pass through as you continue your journey. Each valley appears to be more beautiful, more peaceful, more conducive to rest than the one before it. You understand that as you continue climbing, as you progress deeper into this journey, each level will bring you closer to the ultimate destination, a place of perfect peace, perfect rest, perfect stillness. You continue climbing, and as you do, the air becomes even clearer, even purer, even more conducive to peace and rest. The light from the crystal becomes increasingly vivid, increasingly beautiful, increasingly capable of soothing your mind and your spirit. With each step, you feel yourself becoming more deeply relaxed, more thoroughly at peace, more completely surrendered to the journey. Time loses all meaning. You have no awareness of how long you have been climbing. It might be minutes, or hours, or days, or years. There is only this moment, this path, this mountain, this profound journey toward peace and rest. Your body feels heavy and light simultaneously, heavy with the weight of deep relaxation, light with the absence of tension and stress. As you climb higher and higher, you begin to notice that the boundary between yourself and the mountain is becoming increasingly permeable. The light from the crystal seems to be entering your body, illuminating you from within, becoming part of your very being. The peace of the mountain seems to be merging with your own consciousness, becoming one with your awareness. you reach a point where the path leads into the crystal itself. The crystal has been shaped and hollowed to create a tunnel, a passage that leads into the interior of the mountain. You pause at the entrance to this tunnel and feel a gentle pull, an invitation to enter, an assurance that safety and peace await you within. You step into the tunnel, and immediately you are surrounded by crystal on all sides. The crystal glows from within, casting a soft, beautiful light that illuminates everything. The tunnel slopes slightly downward, as if leading you deeper into the mountain, deeper into peace, deeper into rest. Your footsteps make no sound on the crystal floor. As you move through the tunnel, you begin to hear sounds, soft, beautiful sounds that seem to come from the crystal itself. These sounds are like music, like the crystal singing a song of peace and rest and eternal stillness. The song seems to resonate with something deep within you, speaking to your soul at a level that transcends ordinary communication. The tunnel opens into a vast chamber, a chamber of extraordinary size and beauty. The chamber is entirely lined with crystal that glows with soft, beautiful light. The ceiling of the chamber is so high that it is almost impossible to perceive, disappearing into darkness that is somehow comforting rather than frightening. The walls of the chamber are decorated with patterns of extraordinary complexity and beauty, patterns that tell stories of peace and rest and eternal stillness. In the center of the chamber is a pool of crystal clear water. The water glows with soft light, and as you look into it, you see your own reflection. But your reflection appears peaceful, serene, perfectly at rest. You approach the pool and sit beside it, gazing into the water. As you sit beside this pool, surrounded by the glowing crystal of the chamber, listening to the gentle music that seems to emanate from the crystal itself, you feel yourself finally arriving at a destination that your soul has been seeking. This place is the home that your spirit has been longing for, the sanctuary that your consciousness has been searching for, the place of ultimate peace and rest. Your breathing becomes almost imperceptible. Your heartbeat slows to the point where you can barely feel it. Your consciousness begins to drift, becoming less focused on your individual self and more encompassing of the vast crystal chamber, the glowing pool, the eternal light that surrounds you. You lie down beside the pool, your body finding the perfect position of comfort and support on the soft, crystal floor. You allow your eyes to close, and as you do, you feel yourself sinking deeper and deeper into a state of absolute peace, absolute rest, absolute stillness. The light from the crystal continues to glow around you, continues to bathe you in colors of extraordinary beauty, continues to sing its song of peace and eternal rest. And there, in the heart of the crystal mountain, surrounded by light and peace and beauty, you finally surrender completely to sleep. You know with absolute certainty that you are safe, protected, and deeply loved. The mountain itself seems to hold you, protect you, ensure your peace as you journey deeper and deeper into the realm of dreams and eternal rest. Story 4. The gardens of infinite flowers and eternal blooming. The gardens of infinite flowers and eternal blooming. Picture yourself walking through the gates of a garden that exists only in the realm of dreams and imagination. This is not an ordinary garden, but a sacred place where flowers bloom in infinite abundance, where colors exist that have no names in the waking world, where time itself seems to move according to the rhythm of growth and blossoming, rather than according to the mechanical measurement of hours and minutes. The gates through which you have passed are made of living wood, branches that are still green and vital, still connected to the roots that ground them in the earth. The branches are woven together in patterns of extraordinary complexity and beauty, creating a structure that is at once both open and enclosed, both welcoming and protective. As you step through the gates, you find yourself on a path of soft earth, a path that winds gracefully through the gardens. The path is lined on both sides with flowers of extraordinary beauty. Some flowers are familiar, roses and lilies and daisies, but they seem more vivid, more alive, more real than any flowers you have seen in the waking world. Other flowers appear to be species that exist only in the realm of dreams. Flowers with shapes and colors that seem to defy ordinary botanical possibility. The flowers around you glow with an inner light, each flower emitting its own luminescence. Some flowers glow soft blue, others glow purple or green or gold or silver. The light from the flowers is gentle and soothing, casting everything around you in a warm, peaceful radiance. As you gaze upon the flowers, you feel your mind becoming increasingly peaceful, your body becoming increasingly relaxed. The air in the garden is perfumed with the fragrance of the flowers. The scent is not overwhelming or cloying, but rather subtle and exquisite. A fragrance that seems to speak directly to your sense of smell, communicating feelings of peace and beauty and deep rest. With each breath you take, you inhale more of this fragrance, and with each inhalation, you feel yourself becoming more relaxed, more peaceful, more deeply settled into a state of profound well-being. You continue walking along the path, and you notice that the garden extends endlessly in all directions. There are flowers as far as your eyes can see. Flowers in infinite variety. Flowers in colors and shapes of extraordinary diversity. Yet, despite the infinite abundance, the garden does not feel chaotic or overwhelming. Instead, everything is arranged in perfect harmony, perfect balance, perfect order. You come upon a clearing in the garden, a place where the flowers have parted to create a circular space. In the center of this clearing is a fountain, a structure of living stone and crystal that flows with water. But this is not ordinary water. The water glows with soft light, and as it flows from the fountain, it carries with it all the colors of the flowers that surround the clearing. The water seems to be alive, conscious, aware. You approach the fountain and sit on the edge of the pool that surrounds it. The stone is warm to the touch, comfortable, inviting rest. You gaze into the pool and see your reflection. But again, your reflection appears peaceful, serene, perfectly at rest. This reflection seems to be the true you, the you that exists in this realm of dreams and imagination. the you that is free from all tension, all stress, all concern. As you sit beside the fountain, you notice that butterflies and birds have begun to gather around you. These are not ordinary butterflies and birds, but beings of extraordinary beauty and grace. The butterflies have wings in colors that seem almost impossible, colors that shift and change as they move. The birds sing songs of extraordinary beauty, songs that seem designed specifically to induce peace and relaxation. These creatures seem to recognize you, to welcome you, to invite you to join them in their eternal dance of life and joy and freedom. You understand that in this garden you are not alone, but rather part of a vast community of living beings, all of whom are devoted to the celebration of peace and beauty and rest. You stand and begin to walk deeper into the garden. The path winds through increasingly beautiful sections, each area revealing new surprises, new wonders, new flowers of even greater beauty than those you have seen before. You pass through groves of flowering trees, their branches laden with blooms of extraordinary delicacy and fragrance. You cross bridges of living wood over streams that flow with water like liquid light. At one point, the path opens into a meadow of such extraordinary beauty that you pause, overwhelmed by the sight. The meadow is covered entirely with flowers, flowers of every color imaginable, flowers that glow with inner light, flowers that seem to be in the process of eternal blooming, opening and closing in cycles that seem to be synchronized with your own breathing. In the center of the meadow is a pavilion, a structure made of living wood and adorned with flowers and vines. The pavilion is open on all sides, welcoming, inviting you to enter. You approach the pavilion and step inside. Within the pavilion, you discover that the floor is covered with the softest moss imaginable. Moss that feels like the finest carpet ever woven. The pavilion is furnished with comfortable seating, chairs and couches made of natural materials, upholstered with the finest fabrics. Each piece of furniture is positioned to provide the maximum view of the meadow and the flowers beyond. You settle yourself into one of the comfortable chairs, and you discover that it embraces you, supports you, cradles you as if it understands your body perfectly and is devoted to your comfort and well-being. You pull a soft blanket over yourself, and you notice that the blanket seems to warm itself according to your needs. Never too hot, never too cold, always perfectly comfortable. As you sit in this pavilion, surrounded by flowers, listening to the songs of birds, watching the dance of butterflies, breathing in the fragrance of infinite blooms, you feel your body becoming increasingly heavy, increasingly supported, increasingly at rest. Your breathing becomes slower and deeper. Your heartbeat slows to a gentle rhythm that matches the rhythm of the garden itself. You gaze out at the flowers, and you notice that they seem to be blooming and unfolding before your very eyes, as if time has accelerated, as if you can perceive the entire cycle of growth and flowering in accelerated form. The sight is mesmerizing, hypnotic, deeply soothing to your mind and your spirit. Your eyelids begin to grow heavy. Your awareness of the waking world begins to fade. The sounds of the garden, the songs of birds, the whisper of wind through flowers, the gentle murmur of flowing water seem to be lulling you deeper and deeper into rest. You close your eyes, and as you do, you feel yourself sinking into the comfortable chair, sinking into the embrace of the pavilion, sinking into the peace of the garden. The fragrance of the flowers seems to grow even stronger, more vivid, more capable of soothing your mind and carrying you deeper into dreams. Your final conscious awareness is of the garden surrounding you, of the infinite flowers blooming eternally, of the peace and beauty and rest that this place embodies. And then, in the comfort of the pavilion, surrounded by the eternal blooming of infinite flowers, cradled by the peace of the garden, you finally surrender completely to sleep. You drift deeper and deeper into the healing realm of dreams, knowing with absolute certainty that you are safe, protected, and deeply loved by the universe itself.